But what does Winx mean?
Nothing, just Winx.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into.
They turned Kiko into a book. I can't believe that Kiko got Asheroned.
There's an empty page in the Legendarium with your name on it.
They subjected him to bookification. Anyway, ciao all, Thomas here. And you guessed it, we're here to talk about the new teaser that just dropped for the Winx Club reboot. And if you're knowledgeable about what's been going on in the fandom recently, you'll know there have been a lot of alleged leaks recently. I'm not saying that I've seen any of them. Definitely not. But, it's very clear that interest in the reboot has been peaked recently. And I think Rainbow is kind of capitalizing on that for word of mouth marketing wise. And I have to say, I know the last time we had a teaser, I wasn't very happy with what we got.
Ew.
There are still elements I am kind of cautious about, but on the whole, I feel like my thoughts are improving as we're getting closer to, I say it like we have a definitive release date other than 2025. But I have a little bit more hope that this will not be trash, that this will be enjoyable, actually. Wow, the bar is low. Look, if you're a fan of Winx Club, you know what it's like. You've been through the trenches. You know that Rainbow has burned us so many times that it's best to go in with low expectations. It is best.
It is known. It is known.
Not to rain on anybody's parade. If you're excited, I'm genuinely happy for you. I'm kind of excited, but tepidly so. I'm just please don't ruin it. Please don't ruin it. So anyway, let's talk about what we've seen. So the main vibe that we've got so far is Bloom in the park, enjoying a day in Gardenia. She sees Stella and Flora, both of them, and they're fighting against a weird troll ogre thing. And Bloom is like, do not charge at me or I will burn you. Which I honestly, go off, queen, go off. So this, and from other things I've seen, it looks like this setup is going to be a little bit different.
Leave her alone! Come get me! Wait, did I just say that?
This is reboot territory, so we're retelling the story and starting from scratch. But in the original, it was Bloom coming across Stella fighting against Nut the Ogre and his little ghoul army. And we just met her, and then we met the other Winx when Bloom got to Althea. Whereas here, Flora is also present, and the other Winx might be as well. And it sounds like they're here for Bloom specifically, they already know she's here.
We're here for you. For me? You need to come with us.
No.
Whereas originally it was just a coincidence, a stroke of fate. Is that a pun?
Gag me.
I'm reserving my judgments until we get the final product because we have no clue what exactly they're going to do. But, I guess it's kind of interesting. I think the premise-wise, I might prefer the original, but I'm curious to see how this new execution goes. It's a new version of the story, and we have to see what they do and be open-minded. Just because it's different doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but it also doesn't mean that it's necessarily better. I will say the 3D animation is looking a bit better than it has. I still feel like the girls are not as expressive as I would like. And I feel like in alleged animatics, I don't know, the girls look more expressive in those alleged animatics than they do in these clips so far. They look fine, but, expression-wise could be better. I'm not sure how I feel about Bloom's outfit. I like the darker blues. I like the denim. I like that she's in jeans. And I like that she has little star patterns on her jeans. It's reminding me of her original flared look. But I do miss the bell-bottom flares. I'm not sure how I feel about the fishnet top. It feels more 2010s than 2000s, which I guess is par for the course. But she looks fine. I'm kind of getting the vibe with the ogre, though, that this is a replacement for Nut. And allegedly, I think this ogre's name is Hunter, so it's not Nut, so that's a bit sad.
So don't give up now.
And we'll circle back to Hunter, but I feel like I might hate him on principle for what he's done to another member of the cast who will not be returning.
Foreshadowing as a narrative device.
So the environments look really nice. The tricks look fabulous. They look actually threatening. I love how they look in this art style.
That's why the mean girls rule.
First of all, it's still their iconic original looks, but like a little bit updated for the 3D. They have like little chains with their initials like they used to, but they're a bit more individualized. I really like the gold on Stormy's. It actually looks kind of sick. And I love the shape of her hair. It's still like voluminous like a cloud. Her little bangs in the front are a bit more arched and pointed. I really like that. Icy, chef's kiss. I really actually like the cuts in her torso. I don't know, something about them. Yes, excellent. She looks like she'll murder me, and I'll thank her for it.
It gives us more people to witch up before the day is done.
And Darcy, ooh. You know, there's kind of like a roundedness with her bangs and how they frame her face that I actually really kind of like. I kind of dig it. We also have the specialists. They're back. We haven't got a good look at their uniforms, but we'll see how they are, I guess. It's just the original 4, like Sky, Brandon, Ribbon, and Timmy. No sign of Helia, unfortunately. I mean, I guess maybe it's to keep the cast small at first, and let's be real, the original show didn't really care about Helia all that much. I'm still kind of torn about the new fairy looks. I don't hate them, but they don't feel as like iconic as the old looks. The wings, weirdly, in this one shot with Stella and Flora, Stella's wings specifically, the angle that they're at, they look plasticky. Like, they don't look like organic wings. They look like they're plastic and it's like a Halloween costume. I feel like it's maybe they look a little bit bulky, like the edges specifically are giving like plastic rims on a toy. And also they have like no transparency. Like their wings have always been kind of transparent, translucent, but these wings are completely opaque. And I think that's adding to this plasticky feel. I'm not against all of the detail because like I feel like it's a lot easier to get away with a lot of detail in 3D than 2D, but like turn down the opaqueness, please. And Stella's scepter.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
Why does it look like a plastic toy? It looks like a cheap McDonald's toy. It's a ball on a plastic staff. Okay. It's giving her Nickelodeon scepter, which is deeply unfortunate. I feel like maybe they were going for a crystal ball kind of look because that's what it wants to give. And I guess I kind of like the shape where it looks like a little crown that's holding like the orb at the top. But overall, I'm not feeling it, especially because like the scepter itself is this pinkish color. It does go with her overall outfit, but it feels weird that it's not like either her main color or an accent color. It's just a completely different color. Oh, and camping looks. The girls are going camping. That's going to be fun. I'm sure danger doesn't await them at all. Let's gather around the campfire and sing our campfire song. I just am really excited to see what direction they go in the reboot. Now, I will say, yeah, I kind of know some of the details from said leaks. I will not be sharing any of them, and I won't be detailing what I've seen from them, but I can give you general vague vibes. Allegedly. Which is to say, I kind of like the direction we're going in with, you know, having the Winx get to know each other and pal around at Althea. It feels very similar to OG Season 1, where it's a lot of slice of life stuff. And of course, there's the mystery of Bloom's powers, which we totally don't know it's the dragon flame. Totally not. But I actually really like the banter between the Winx so far. They actually feel like themselves for the first time in years. They actually like resemble who they were in the first 4 seasons. And I thought I'd never see these girls again. Like Techna's kind of cold, but is deeply useful with like her gadgets and her analysis. Stella's really cheery and upbeat. Now, what I will say from other things that I know, I wish I could go into detail, but like, I don't want to risk it because I don't want Rainbow to murder me. But it's like, I'm not sure what they're trying to do story-wise. Of course, it's based on Season 1, and Season 1 was just the Tricks trying to get Bloom's dragon flame and take over the world and all that stuff. But with the reboot, and like, you know, potential spoilers ahead if you don't want to hear, but it seems like the Tricks are working under like another male villain who's after Bloom's powers.
We keep hooking up with losers.
And I'm just kind of like, why? Like, why introduce this random character? By the way, like, it's not Lord Darkar. It's not Valtor. It's not an existing villain. It's like a new villain and like another accomplice that he has that like apparently is buddy with Flora. And I'm just like, why? It just feels very strange because I'm like, how is this character supposed to like fit into the existing story? Why couldn't the Tricks just be the villains. Like, why do this? And so I'm also thinking, like, is this going to be like one season with its own contained story? Or are we going to be doing like a cliffhanger thing where we go into an overarching story? If so, is that going to be like the Domino Saga again with like Valtor and the Ancestral Witches and so on? Or is it going to be something new? Because like, I feel like it has to involve Domino, because like that's the story, like the whole original saga of the Winx from like the first 3 seasons and Secret of the Lost Kingdom is Bloom learning about her powers, learning about her origins, being from Domino, and then like facing the enemies who destroyed her kingdom and restoring it. And I'm like, are we doing that again, but like slightly different? Like, what's the goal here? I feel like I will enjoy this at least a little bit. On a character level, I think it's going to be very enjoyable. I'm very curious to see how newbies feel about this. Like people who have no pre-existing knowledge of Winx Club, how are they going to feel getting into this, like as their first intro to Winx? And, you know, I hope they have a good time. Again, cautiously optimistic. I think this looks pretty good. I'm not sure how it's going to go in the long run, but we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Oh yeah, one thing that's kind of pissing me off though. If you'll notice, there has been a lack of Kiko throughout all of this reboot stuff. You know, Kiko, Bloom's cute little bunny rabbit. And if you look at the ending shot, I actually noticed this while watching like Lola Valentine's reaction to the teaser. You'll see on the desk, there's a book that kind of resembles a bunny.
Bunny burgers, anyone?
And I'm just like, not y'all cutting Kiko and turning him into a goddamn cameo as a book?
I won't give up now.
Granted, it looks cute as hell, and I'm sure y'all will sell a shit ton of it when you turn it into merch. But like, I also hate you? And I'm like, why get rid of Kiko? Why do that? And apparently, from what I've seen, do you remember that ogre troll thing I mentioned before? You know, the thing replacing Nut?
No.
So apparently there's a miniature version of him, you know, Hunter, and he allegedly may or may not become the mascot for the Winx. They might just have a pet tiny troll. And my guess is that he's replacing Kiko as the mascot, because the vibe I'm getting is like Kiko wasn't like a traditional fantasy creature. And so they were like, let's replace him. And I'm just like, fuck all of you. So I'm very upset about that. And I will die angry. I will die angry. Also, Alfea is not tan, but it is white and beige. They have whitewashed Alfea. I'm sorry. What was wrong with the iconic pink? What was wrong with that? Monsters. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. Cautiously optimistic. There are things in this that I like, some things that are driving me insane. Yeah, I just wanted to give y'all an update on my feelings. If you really like the look of the reboot so far, please don't let my hesitations take your excitement away from you. I am very happy for you. Just, you know, give me the space to be a bitch.
No.